Hey everyone, it's Victoria and welcome back to my channel. We all know that fashion is a great way to express yourself and express to others what you like and what a key of your personality is. But sometimes it can be kind of hard to figure out how to do that. Sometimes you feel like it's all over the place. And by you, I definitely mean me. I've consistently done this so many times in my life. I am now 22 years old and it has just been a fun little mess. I wanted to make a video on how to narrow down what your style could be, what your aesthetic could be, what your dream closet could look like. Personally, my dream closet is a huge room that mimics Kylie Jenner's, but at the same time, humble. So let's start talking about the fact that there are so many aesthetics out there. It's kind of hard to narrow down and figure out what you like. There's dark academia, there's light academia, cottagecore, just so many different types of styles and aesthetics to play around with and get to know and love and choose to who you want to portray to be. There's a list on, I believe it's a fandom page, of just all types of aesthetics. Because there are so many different types of aesthetics, it makes it hard to choose which one. Or if anything, it makes it hard to, because like what if you like a little bit of light academia but you also like cottagecore? You want to mix the two, and sometimes people feel like, oh, I can't mix, I have to be one. You don't, you really don't. It's your style. You don't really have to put a label on it. It's kind of confusing. It can be confusing to figure out what you even want to wear, how to put it together. So that's where my first tip starts to come into play. Personally think that Pinterest and Instagram are two great sources for just creating boards dedicated to looks that you like. While Instagram is great and it's a great way to, you could create a fashion account and just purely look at the fashion that interests you, I really like Pinterest. I think it has a really easy user interface to just start a board and add to it. And as you scroll, you start to see all the looks that you've been adding to it, and you'll start to get like, oh, I've seen that before, like, putting the similar vibes together, and you'll start to figure out, wait, like, okay, and what you have, generally that's going to be your style, or it's what you could see yourself wearing. It's okay if like it is a little mix of everything. You don't necessarily have to label it. You can just be, insert your name, style. It's your style. Make what you want of it, there's no big deal to it. It's fashion. Just look good and do good. And I personally think that Pinterest is great for getting that way it's easy to see, but Instagram also has their save boards are really good, and you can do that too. On social media in general, I really do suggest following just influencers or people in general whose style that you can also see that you like, ooh, I usually really like her clothes and I could see myself wearing that. I'd suggest looking at them for inspiration. Personally, I love Tess Christine. She's a queen fashion lifestyle YouTuber and I just love her style. I can envision myself in that style, and I think, oh, all her clothes are super cute, and I could see myself wearing that. And of course there's a couple of other people that I like to throw in when it comes to just figuring out what I like to do, because at the end of the day, I'm also making it my own. I'm not trying to purely copy them. So they're just looking at somebody else for fashion inspiration is good. Inspiration, not necessarily copy. I mean, you could, if you want to get that bodysuit that they have, go for it, but make it your own, in a sense. I also think that's a really big thing about fashion, making it your own. But looking at other people, say like Ashley from Best Dressed or Alicia Marie, I think looking at different people and seeing what they got to offer and just choosing who you'd like to follow fashion-wise, I think they're a really good key of figuring out what kind of style that you want to go for yourself. And you don't even have to follow real people. They could be TV show characters, comic book characters, cartoon characters. They could be a good representation of what you want to do for your fashion. So you don't even have to limit it to real people. There's fashion inspiration everywhere. Once you have the idea of what you want to go for, if it is a broad arrangement of styles, maybe go through individually doing this, look for tutorials and guides on that style and see how to mesh it into your lifestyle if that's what you would like to do. There are some things you don't have to do the personality traits with, like for Dark Academia. If you're not a fan of coffee shops, you don't have to go to coffee shops. If you just want to look like it, you can. It's completely your prerogative. Do what you want. So they're really good ways at helping you figure out how to dress the part. And if you would like to act the part, don't change who you are, but if you would like to do more things that come with Dark Academia or Light Academia, do it. If that's what suits you, if you do want to start going to coffee shops more, do it, but you don't have to. We're just talking about fashion. We're just talking about the looks. You don't got to change who you are as a person. If you're looking for a style, you know, those guides and tutorials are really good for helping you out with that. Go to your closet, check out what you wear most often, what you don't wear most often, and start pulling those pieces out and then see what you're left over with. I think it's important to make sure that you're not buying repeats of what you already have, seeing what you can do with the clothes you do own, because we're entering 2021. We are all about financial prosperity. We are not trying to go broke just to be fashionable. No, we're not trying to do that. See what you have already and see what you can work with. See what you need to get. And when you do, don't buy everything at once, because that, my friends, is how we end up with clothes that are sitting in the back of our closet, never to be seen again. No, start small. Maybe like, ooh, a blazer really goes with the whole business professional look. I should get some of those. Maybe get one basic color that's like a staple color that you could see yourself using in multiple outfits. Make sure that it has like a lot of purpose before you go out and spend a lot of money on things that you necessarily didn't need to get, especially with it still being in pandemic time. We're not going a lot of places. I mean, you can with a mask and doing it social distancing wise, but we're still not going a lot of places. So you don't have to show up, show out. You can, but like, again, you're not going a lot of places. Point is, don't spend all your money on a whole new wardrobe at once. Start slowly, gradually building it up. And with that being said, build off of basics and essentials that can be found in almost every aesthetic and style. So that's basic tanks, basic tees, jeans, like stuff that you can find that can transfer, because we are humans, you know? We change our minds on things, and style, it's always evolving. So, you know, what if you don't want to do at Dark Academia next year, you know, and then you have this, like, all of these clothes are Dark Academia. That's why I think it's important to, one, start small. Two, just having the basics. That way, when you do want to do that, you can easily just go to the next style if that's what you want to do. So having a lot of those, and then like having a few of the stuff that really makes the style, that's the ultimate goal here. And when you fill up your closet with a bunch of basics, it will be much easier putting the outfits together. It will just be a lot easier to put stuff together like that. And like I said, you know, it'll be easier if you want to change styles later on. Invest in those basic pieces, because there's a good chance you'll have them for a lot longer. You should put a little money in it, and which is again why don't buy everything at once, because we don't want to go broke. Everybody say it with me, we don't want to go broke. Invest in quality pieces because you want them for a longer time versus the fashion pieces, like, because shoes, purses, like, cute, love it, but if they're not like basic colors or basic patterns, most likely they won't go to the next, transfer to the next style very well. So, which is why you don't necessarily, you can, I'm not saying, because there are some really good fashion designers, some really good stores, and they have some really cute stuff. And yeah, they can be a little pricey, but they are quality, so you can get that, but be sure about that. That's where I stand for that. So investing in those basics will help when you're trying to change styles, or just if you want to keep this, if you want to have the same nice silk blouse for future years, okay, that's probably something that you should invest in. I'm not saying spend $1,000 unless you got it like that, sis, then spend the money. But if you don't have it, please don't spend that like much. I'm talking about like maybe $50, maybe $100, if anything. Being more conscious when you make your fashion purchases, because again, we don't want to waste money, and we don't want to end up wasting clothes that we don't need. Humans are always evolving. We are always changing our minds, and we are always wanting to do something different and better the next time. And so it is 100% okay if one day you're like all into dark academia, and then the next year or even the next month you're like, I think I'm really into that pastel goth look. And I'm like, wow, that's a huge huge appearance change. It is okay. It is perfectly fine if you want to do that. Fashion is all about change. Fashion is all about doing what you want to do. It's about expressing who you are, or who you are at the moment. And guess what? It's up to you. Nobody should be mad at that. But you're not a cartoon character. You don't have to look the same for the rest of your life. I feel like that's insane to ask for somebody. Now, if you do want to like have the same kind of look for the rest of your life, that is also perfectly okay. It's okay if you don't want to change, but it's also okay if you do want to change. It's your life. You're living it the way you want to live it. Fashion, while it's about being trendy, do what you want, wear what you want. I'm not advocating socks with sandals. I'm not. But don't let me stop you if you really want to wear socks with sandals. I love overalls now. I never was really into it when I was younger, but overalls, they're so comfy. They're so cute. It's so, for a casual look, I just love throwing those on, putting on a cardigan. I love them. I love them. And so that's something that a lot of people don't wear nowadays. At least the grocery store clerk at Food Lion told me that. Either way, I'm like, I'm not trying to bring it back. I'm just wearing what I want to wear, and nobody's gonna stop me. So do what you want, live your life the way you want to live it, and be happy. Be happy with your newfound style, your newfound aesthetic, how you are choosing to portray yourself to the world. I hope that the couple of tips that I was able to give you guys helped you. I know that there are many videos on how to find your style, how to find your aesthetic, and so don't just watch mine, watch theirs, get all the information that you can. And so I think it's important to see all you can and get the most knowledge that you can. That's why I love YouTube. It's free and you get so much information that you can out of it. So please do that. Inform yourself on what you can. If you have any tips on how to find your own style and aesthetic, and I did not mention them, please leave them down below. Let's get that comment section flowing and that community growing. And just helping each other out, because I think that would be really great, because there are some tips that I probably didn't even think about that could really help somebody. So if you do have something, please leave it down below. Thank you guys for watching my video. I will see you in the next one.